Hello, Cancer. Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead, Cancer. How are you? Thank you so much for clicking here. I appreciate you, Cancer. I've got some oracles here, as I usually do. I'm going to throw those down for the overall energy for the week ahead, and then we're going to throw some tarot on them and find out the details about what these oracles say. Cancer, how are you? I hope you're well. Thanks so much for checking in here. If you're the person who's always here, watching, subscribing, and coming back here and clicking each week, I appreciate you. If you're brand new and you'd like to stay, there is a subscription button down in the bottom right hand corner of this little square where I live. Welcome to the shenanigans. Let's find out what's going on for you. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the week ahead. That's how I read, always for the week ahead. And so it's not going to be for all of you, because not all of you are at the same place in your life right now, and that's why it won't resonate for all of you. Let's find out what's going on for you, Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Got peace, honesty, and loneliness. We've got regret on the bottom of the deck. So we've got peace. It says, I'm a being of love, and I release all negative energy. Oh, honesty is next. Very interesting. It says, I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. I feel, Cancer, there's something here that you really need to be honest with yourself about, because you need to have peace. It feels like you're experiencing possibly loneliness. It says loneliness, but it says, I know that I'm never alone. So I feel like it's you and the universe right now. It feels like no one else is in your life or no one else is around. And I don't mean friends or family. I mean like possibly someone who is a love connection. Maybe you're just someone who is a recluse. Maybe you're someone who's in hermit energy. It could be that. So it feels like you're trying to release negative thoughts, negative energy, and trying to be really honest with yourself as to why you're feeling lonely. And for that, it could be something different for everybody, right? We've got regret here. I know that I cannot change the past. So it does feel like that the loneliness is probably a contribution from the past, something that you have regret about. And in order for you to have peace, you've got to be really honest with yourself about something here. Let's take a look at these. I'm going to put one down on each of these here. Tell me more about Cancer. What else do we need to know about Cancer, please? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Cancer. All right. We'll take that one, and we'll take both of those. Why not? Bottom of the deck, we have Kite. It says vacation. Maybe you're thinking about going on vacation. It says Fox, shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. You might be going on vacation because of business. It could be that. To possibly talk someone into a deal. Could be that sort of energy here. We do have the ladder. It says climbing towards success. And so I feel like you will have this peace, that you will end up releasing some sort of negative thoughts, negative energy, or regrets from the past. And it feels like you will be climbing forward here. It says the ladder, climbing towards success. So releasing whatever it is that you want to release in terms of negative energy, so you can live in this energy of peace and love. We've got honesty, and we've got July. So for some of you, it could be a July Cancer. We've got honesty. It says, I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Maybe this is a breakthrough time for you. If you are a July Cancer, you don't have to be, but maybe you're dealing with a July Cancer. It feels like there is some sort of a breakthrough. This is the sun, right? Some sort of a breakthrough. Maybe it is a moon that is coming in July possibly. And it feels like it is maybe a really honest conversation or the realization of something that's coming in July, maybe around your birthday. Could be. We do have a needle and thread. It says a sincere wish will be granted. Oh, around about when you're very honest with yourself, possibly. We do have the eagle, and it says triumph over troubles and obstacles. All right, so I feel like this loneliness, almost it feels a little bit necessary for me. It feels like the universe is sort of sequestering you, so you will make some decisions, it says here. Since a sincere wish will be granted, and then triumph over troubles and obstacles. I feel like one of the troubles or obstacles is being honest with yourself about why you're in regret. It feels like that energy here. Let's pull a couple of these, and then we'll go straight to the tarot and get some details for you, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. Venus and Jupiter. What else do we need to know about Cancer, please? Look at that. We've got denial. So there's something here that you've not been addressing, Cancer. You've been in denial about something. It could be the reason why you're lonely. It could be the reason why you have regrets from the past. But it says here, failure to accept a situation. Maybe it's you failing to accept your part in the situation. It says unhealthy cycles or addictions. It could be that as well. Maybe you keep going into the same cycle. Whatever that cycle is. Look, for some people, it's money. It's like I make a lot of money, I save a lot of money, and then I blow it all at once by going on some, big trip around the world. Denial also could be in love. Maybe you keep, getting into a relationship, getting invested into the relationship, and then leaving. Like it feels like it's something that keeps going in a circular way, but it's an unhealthy cycle here that you're in denial about. We've got declutter. It says let go of old items. Create a sacred new space for yourself. It doesn't have to be just old items. It could be old relationships. It could be old regrets. It could be things that make you feel lonely. It could be releasing negative energy that makes you feel lonely, being honest with yourself. It feels like for some of you, it's almost like a realization that happens around your birthday. It could be, or in the month of July. Let's get to the tarot. Bottom of the deck, we have happiness. This is all just going to lead to happiness. Realizations, being honest with yourself, releasing negative energy is only going to allow you to climb the ladder toward sincere wish fulfillment, it feels like here. But first, you've got to get out of the denial and declutter, which means get rid of the old pictures, get rid of the old ideas, the old ways of thinking, get out of the cycle that you've created that you keep going in around and around and around. Because you keep getting the same result because you keep doing the same steps over and over. It's all going to lead to happiness, I feel. It says new discoveries that lead to celebrations. Love yourself first. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's time for you to start loving yourself a little deeper than you love other people. All right. Excuse me. Let's talk about Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. And if you are interested in a private read, please remember that they are open. All the information you need is in the pinned comment below. Go over to Hipsy to check out my pricing. I am doing face-to-face readings now, live ones. If you're interested in that. All right. Tell me about Cancer. What do we need to know about Cancer? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Cancer. We've got the Fool. This is a new day for you, friend. It feels like this is something that is a new chapter of your life, but it's going to take a lot of honesty. It's going to take you releasing something that you've been doing on a loop for a while. It's going to take change. Look, Cancer, I always call you the Taurus of the water signs. It's hard for you to change. I feel like it's a change of mind that's needed because you're in denial about something here. But it almost feels like July tells me time is ticking along, and maybe you're coming to some sort of milestone birthday, and it feels like it's time for you to declutter. It's like maybe you're like, I don't want to be lonely anymore. And I feel like your sincere wish will be granted. You will have triumph over your troubles, but it's going to take being really honest with yourself. We've got the Three of Swords, we've got the Strength card, and we have the King of Cups. There it is. So the King of Cups is the stoic one, the one who has super deep feelings, right? Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. Super deep feelings, but isn't willing to show them on the surface. It almost feels like somebody here is an avoidant love. So you're somebody who gets in really deep, and as it gets deeper and deeper, you leave, you avoid. It could be someone who does it to you. It doesn't have to be you if you're looking in on this reading for someone else. But the Strength card is here. It feels like somebody tries to have the courage to stay, but eventually it just turns into broken heart energy. Something has to be done differently here. You're in denial. It feels like you need to make some really big change, look at it really honestly, and make some really big change, because I feel like what you really don't want to be is lonely. I think you want to be happy, but you don't want to live in regret. It does feel like it's really hard for you to show your feelings on the surface, and it feels like it's time for you to declutter the mind. And what I mean by that is, it says let go of old items, but look, it could be old pictures, it could be old furniture, it could be old ways of thinking, it could be old thoughts, paradigms. It feels like it's time for you to do something new. The Page of Cups is here to shock everybody and do something new is what it feels like here. Tell me why the Three of Swords is here, please, for Cancer. Because this is disappointment. This is I feel like the Three of Swords is what you experience when you fail to accept a situation for what it really is. And it might be that you're not noticing your own pattern. It might be Cancer's not noticing their own pattern. Tell me about the Three of Swords, please. What's this disappointing, heartbreaking energy? It feels like something always comes between you and the thing that you want. We've got the Four of Cups. Yeah, it's the comfort zone is what it is, Cancer. It's the comfort zone. It's not being able to bring your feelings to the surface. Look, the Seven of Swords is here. The Seven of Swords isn't, I don't think that you lie about your feelings. That's not what I think is going on here. But I also feel that maybe it's something that is so under the surface, it's really hard for you to bring it to the surface. The King of Cups tells the whole story here. It tells me that you're very stoic on the surface, that you feel uncomfortable with showing your feelings on the surface. You love deeply, incredibly deeply, but it feels like this comfort zone is the Seven of Swords for you. The comfort zone is not telling anybody how you feel. Look, I don't know how many times I've been around my Cancer friend, and Cancer will come into the party and know something a little bit about everybody, and when Cancer leaves, everybody's like, did you even catch that person's name? Like, what part of the city do they live in? Like, you just know nothing about Cancer, but Cancer knows something about everybody. Because that empathic energy, everybody wants to just give all of their energy to Cancer. So the Knight of Cups is here. And I feel like we are talking about romantic relationships, it feels like. It feels like you get to the same place in a romantic relationship every time, and then you cut out. Or it gets too deep, and then you go. Or you avoid it. Or you avoid it because it comes to the place where you must breach the surface or let them see who you really are emotionally on the surface. And that's when you back away. That's what it feels like here. So the Seven of Swords isn't about it's more about being in denial, I think. It's more about keeping things under the surface, keeping romantic feelings under the surface, not being able to or feeling like you can't, not loving honestly is what it feels like here. I feel like there is going to be a breakthrough, though, in your birthday month for those of you who are a July Cancer. And I mean, it could be if you're a June Cancer as well. It might happen in July, though. Tell me about the King of Cups, please. Why does Cancer keep it all under the surface? I feel like a breakthrough is coming in July for you. That a breakthrough of honesty here. You're coming out of denial and getting into honesty. Honest with yourself. Tell me about the King of Cups. We have the High Priestess energy. We have the Six of Wands in the reverse. And we have the Two of Cups. It's definitely about love that we're talking about here. So the Page of Pentacles is here. It feels like you get to the point of the Page of Pentacles where things start to materialize in a relationship, and then you kind of get spooked. You run off, it feels like here. The Six of Wands in the reverse is telling me somebody's hiding or somebody doesn't want to be seen. I don't want people to see me from a distance. The Six of Wands is about getting the victory or getting success, but also getting a lot of attention. And it almost feels like you get a lot of emotional attention. And so you know that now you must show this attention on the surface. And that's when you go into hiding. You start being quiet. Your intuition, like you go in with your intuition, but you're silent and mysterious and quiet. And it's like maybe you just ghost, or maybe you just pull back your energy immediately here. Tell me why the Strength card is here. I feel like if you want this new beginning, you can have it, Cancer. It is totally up to you. I'm not telling you that you have to, but I feel like it's going to take a lot of courage. It feels like you're trying to break through some sort of a cycle that you're in. It feels like that. Some sort of a negative thought pattern, a cycle, something that you haven't really recognized about yourself, and it's causing you to live in loneliness. But you can have whatever you want. You can have this if you want it, but you're going to have to thread the needle, and it takes a lot of concentration, right? Have you ever tried, especially those of you who are in my age range, in your 50s, late 50s, have you ever tried to thread the needle? It takes a special talent at some point, right? It feels like there is you will have triumph over your troubles, but it really is going to depend on whether or not you have enough courage to do it. Tell me about Strength. We've got the Nine of Wands. And so I feel like this is something that is old programming for you, Cancer. Either being hurt all the time over and over, and then you back out because you don't want to be hurt in the same way again. But the Nine of Wands is also about being exhausted. I don't know if I can go through with this again. I don't know if I can go through another emotional disappointment. It feels like this Nine of Wands here tells me you're the wounded warrior. This could go way back to your childhood. There could be a childhood wound here that you've never healed. Tell Tell me more. We've got the Eight of Swords. Yeah, you get to a point here where I have to finally breach the surface, or I've just got to go. And I feel like the Eight of Swords is the overthinking process that you go through here. And then we've got the Five of Cups. And so regret is what we have here, right? It says, I know that I cannot change the past. So no, you can't change the past, but you can definitely do something brand new going forward. You can be honest with yourself and allow for some sort of a breakthrough. We do have your energy here, the Chariot, and the Six of Cups is in the reverse. I do feel like at this moment that you are stuck in nostalgia about someone. I feel like there is a special someone here that you cannot get off your mind, that you're thinking about a lot, that you're trying to come into balance with the thoughts and the regrets that you have. It feels like you feel as though you've lost someone, like that person got away and you don't think that you can get them back. It feels like in the future there could definitely be a conversation between you and them. We have the Five of Swords, though, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. There might be some sort of argument or fight or difference of opinion that is stopping you two from coming together, but the Wheel of Fortune's not waiting for anybody. It's divine timing that things change, and maybe we just got to hash it out with the Five of Swords in the future. So we can have some movement here. So we can move along, Six of Swords, and we can drop some of these emotional burdens that I've been stuck in for a while. It feels like the decision's yours, though. You're going to have to make the decision to reach out to somebody here. All right. So what I'm going to do, what I've been doing is I've been extending the readings this week, and so I am going to extend this one as well, as I am extending all of them. I'm going to put it in my my membership area. So if you are already a member, I'll see you over there if this is what you want to look at. But if you are not a member, please know that there is a link in the pinned comment below. It's just right below all the private reading information. If you would like to join this membership group, we're doing other things over there too, not just the extensions. Tell me, I'm going to put down 3 cards and we're going to talk about, maybe 4 cards, and we'll talk about what we're going to extend in the other area here. Okay, so the King of Swords is the one of honesty, right? We know that, the King of Swords. The King of Swords is the one that's brutally honest. Not just honest, but brutally honest. We've got the Page of Pentacles. If you want to give an offer, or you want to give someone an offer, or you want to try and meet face-to-face with somebody in the 3D, if you want to begin something again or try and open the door to something, you're going to have to be brutally honest with yourself, and then you'll have to be brutally honest with them. I feel like this is the Queen of Cups. It does feel like the one that got away. The King and the Queen are here. It feels like you're still connected to this person, whether you're feminine or masculine. You're still connected to this person who you feel you've lost your chance with. You're still connected to them empathically or energetically or psychically. It feels like you still feel them, and I feel like this is somebody that you cannot get off your mind, that you want this new beginning with here. One more card. We've got the Justice card. So there is going to be some justice here. I feel like there will be justice between the King and the Queen of Cups. Now, we could be talking about someone who is Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, maybe they are a Libra. They could be someone who's Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, possibly a Scorpio. We've got Pisces here. Maybe you have some of those placements. But we're going to look at these 4 cards here. We're going to find how you can climb toward this on this ladder of success and peace, and what you're going to have to do in order to get all of this back on track, if that's what you want to do, and if you don't, that's fine. But the King of Swords is somebody who's decided to show up with the Sword of Truth, to be brutally honest with themselves in the month of July, around your birthday possibly, or for some of you about a July, something that's going down in July. It does feel like it has to do with something that's going on between the King and the Queen of Swords. I feel like, King and the Queen of water here. I feel like you two are separate. I don't feel like there's any communication going on, but the Two of Cups is here. I feel like you really do have deep feelings for this person, but you're going to have to come out from below the depths with your feelings. This person, I feel, is somebody who wants justice only if you're willing to do it in the daylight, right? With this sun here. You're only if you're willing to come out and be honest and truthful with your feelings. I feel like there is a lot of attraction here, but also one of you has been breadcrumbing the other, and I think that's the realization that's coming here. It's probably what you've been in denial about that makes somebody's been breadcrumbing somebody here. Look, I'm not going to pin it on you, Cancer, but this is a Cancer reading. It feels like somebody keeps cutting out of relationships. So we're going to talk about that. We'll go into the extension. We will talk about this right here. What are we going to talk about? Well, what are you going to say? How are you going to do it? How are you going to be honest with yourself? Is this the person who you feel like you've lost a chance with? I feel like there's a lot of desire and love, and the Two of Cups is here. We're going to find out what this Tower is about, because it feels like you're going to be reaching out to somebody with this offer here, and we will talk more about that. I think really it leads to happiness, and you can have what you want, but it's going to take some hard work, and you're going to have to do something you've never done before in order to get something you've never had before. Feels like you feel you've missed out on somebody here and you've gone quiet. So I feel like it's going to be up to you to charge forward. But we'll take a look at it in the extension. I'm going to go for now, and I'll be back because I'm always back. You guys take care of yourselves, and I'll see you over in the extension if that's where you end up. Otherwise, I'll be back with more. You guys take care. Bye-bye.